Hey guys! Okay, I know that in most of my videos it's at an angle where the shadow makes me look like I have a double chin and I kind of like chunky. That's because I only like filming in this general area because of the amount of light that I can get. And so shut your mouth and get the fuck over it. So I changed angles, yay, okay. So anyway, today's segment is about stupid people, and my thing is, I've been surfing around Pinterest, and I found something quite unintelligible to do, and this person who was like, hey, you on a budget? And then everybody's like, yeah, I'm on a budget. Hey, you got kids? Yeah, I got kids. Okay, great. Then you're going to love taking this oversized dryer towel and wrapping it around your kid and then wearing it as a backpack. I mean, who doesn't want to do that, right? So this idea, and I will show you in a moment, I will be your Vanna and show you this wonderful idea. It's a piece of silky fabric. Dog, what are you doing? It's a piece of silky fabric, and it's like chiffon something. It's like chiffon, like the thing. I'll show you. It's like this fabric. You see the fabric of my shirt? It's like that fabric, but this bitch wrapped her child in it and was like, hey, look at me, free fall, and let my kid just hang out like nothing. And okay, first of all, do you understand how dumb that is? That could A, break the child's neck, B, you could drop your child, C, you're fucking stupid. They have things for this. And it doesn't matter if you're on a budget. If you're on a budget, then evidently it's not meant for you. You need to carry your fucking kid because you're fucking lazy. It's that simple. I'm sorry. That's my way of thinking about it. If you're gonna swaddle your child in a fucking silky piece of fabric that doesn't even... That's like taking, I don't know, that's like taking a regular t-shirt and wrapping your child in it and then hanging it off of you like some kind of satchel. I'm sorry. Don't do that. You're fucking stupid. And for all of you first mothers out there, you are not an idiot for believing something as dumb as that. With that being said, as I always say, don't believe it. For first mothers, I'm not exactly a first mother or a mother at all. So my main thing on it is, think about it this way. Somebody who has experience with children and animals being their first priority as children in general. So I do have children. I just didn't do anything to get them. They're just there. You can't see them, but they're my animals. So anyway, my pets are similar to me as if a human baby. I would not do anything to put their life in jeopardy. I would not shake them. I would not do anything as stupid as that. Once again, babies and dogs are kind of similar because they can get shaking baby syndrome. You can shake them hard enough and then they disconnect cords from cords or the skull or the something. You know, I mean, as stupid as I sound right now, it's true. It's possible. And people don't ever think about that. People don't get it. You drop a dog, you drop a child, it's the same thing. So what if I'm not going to put my dog in a swaddled piece of chiffon fabric? What makes you think I'm going to put my firstborn or even my second, third, fourth, or fifthborn in a swaddled piece of chiffon fabric? Bitch, we are not Chanel number 5. We are human beings that need to think rationally and understand the repercussions of what would happen if we were to, say, wrap our child in a chiffon piece of fabric. So, once again, I'm all angry now because that irritates me. But with that being said, you have to understand that there are different things that you can do. You can either hold your child like a responsible parent and not wrap it in that piece of chiffon fabric, or you can put your child in those carrier things where you're supposed to hold them kind of, or put them in a stroller and do your dishes. It is so simple to do. I mean, when I was a baby, my mom took a playpen or whatever the fuck, and she just put me in there and she'd do the dishes. so she'd have availability to me. She did it to my brothers, she did it to me, and we were fine. She didn't need no fancy piece of fabric to hold me and my brothers up with no problem at all. Even my cousins and her nieces and nephews, she didn't have a problem with it. She just placed them in a playpen and was like, if you need anything, you're right in front of me, so I can tell if you need anything, and I'll know if you need anything. It's that simple. As a parent, you would know. Somebody who's been more experienced with children, say the older generation, maybe like in their 50s to their 80s, are a little more sensible, in such a sense that now we are living back in the generation where everything is more dangerous than prior. With that once again being said, back in the 20s, nothing was thought up as dangerous. I mean, even cigarettes were considered safe back then, and now in this generation we are trying to ban cigarettes, but we're accepting lead-infested painted toys. Like, I mean, people don't understand the repercussions of it, and, my main thing here is, I saw it on Pinterest, and I'm not going to give out the name because the person doesn't need to be attacked, but as sorry and sad as this sounds, you as an adult, or as a human being more so, I mean, even as a kid I thought rationally, and a lot of people did, including Lynette and a few other people, you think rationally and you think, okay, if I did this, this is what would happen. And evidently these people think that this is a more affordable way to do it. If you can't afford it, you have a playpen, be my guest. I mean, you don't have a playpen, you can't afford a playpen, then you get a blow-up pool, like a tiny little kitty blow-up pool. You pat it down with pillows and blankets, and how much are they? Like $20 to $30 now? That's not expensive. I mean, that's expensive to me because I ain't got money, but that's not so expensive when you look at it if you're willing to spend $40 to $50 on baby clothes a month. So, I mean, if you could hold off on the millions of pairs of baby clothes that you have, unless, of course, your kid is growing rapidly, which is understandable, then you can spare a couple bucks to go ahead and get a playpen, a makeshift playpen. You have the necessities. I mean, even a stroller works. I mean, the kid doesn't really get the accessibility to move around, but you have the availability to your child if something were to happen. And many people don't understand that. And once again, with that being said, parents these days are so irresponsible, more irresponsible than before. I mean, women could go and leave their kids for an hour by themselves. Now women go ahead and go do hallucinogens and then cook their whole family. Like, this generation has gone to shit, and I mean, we've learned nothing from prior generations, and we refuse to learn anything. Sorry for that stuttering moment, but we refuse to learn anything. We refuse to try. And there are a lot of young women out there, and I'm not going to shame them, because you know what? Kudos to them because they're taking care of a child. Kudos to them because they're taking care of a child independently. Excuse my dog barking in the background. He is throwing a fit. Anyway, these women go out there, these girls think that they're responsible enough, and this is in the terms of that Pinterest post that I did see, and this is a segment that I brought up earlier. Once again, I get irritated when I see a human being doing something as stupid as that. We thrive. People now use their money against the younger audience to say, hey, look how stupid these kids are, let's see if we could get them to do this for us. And that's not something we want to do. And that's not something we as teenage girls and as females want to fall into. I mean, I'm specifically targeting the female teenage audience because we are the ones that are targeted the most. We are the ones who now in this day and age provide babies for everybody and whatever. We're naive enough to fall into the ruse, if that makes sense. Let's have sex with this person because I love him so much and he loves me back, and then you end up pregnant and he leaves. I mean, that's a critical way of thinking about it, and it's so simple. Young women are not ready for the repercussions, and for you to throw something out there like that, especially when young women are more attracted to the internet, the social media, they just don't get it. So it's really hard for women to get the difference between this and this. Not all women, just a younger audience, because they're more naive. And I'm not putting down women as a whole. God, no, I would never do that. But If you really believe that somebody is going to do that, you're worse off than the person who made that is more of an idiot than the person that actually thinks it's okay to do that. And I'm saying that lightly. That is me being kind. The reason why I'm not saying the username who did it is because I do not want to start any drama between any means necessary, but I mean, as much as I wish to, I'd rather not infringe on their rights, and I'd rather not, I mean, who knows, it could work, but to me that looks so unsafe, and it looks so stupid, that, I mean, even when you have the carrier itself, the little front pack carrier, you're still holding your child, you're still holding them, but this person, and as you saw in the picture, this person, is swaddling the child, and I don't even remember if she's holding the child. The child's just sitting there in this chiffon looking thing. And like, okay, take this t-shirt or blouse that I have and try wrapping your child or a dog or something in it. It's not going to work. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. It is a thin piece of fabric that has no strength or no durability to hold such weight. I mean, I'm sorry, a baby may not weigh that much, but it weighs enough. And that's enough to tear something as weak as that. I mean, not all fabric is feasible, and not all fabric is strong. And when you think of a layered piece of fabric as something to hold your child, you have to really question the stability of the person who came up with that idea in the first place. I mean, excuse my rant. I'm sorry, but it's like, when you think about it, what measures would you go to avoid holding your child? What measures would you go to? I mean, parents enjoy holding their children while they're doing the dishes. Great. That's so great. But, you know, come on. Is it really worth dropping your child? Is it really worth hurting them? I mean, that's just, I could be irrational to some people, but that is my rational way of thinking of it, and this is my opinion. So once again, my opinion does not reflect, and I don't expect anybody to follow my opinion. That is just the way I think. And that's the way that I believe that it is. It is not fair for somebody who doesn't understand it to sit there and idle by and think, wow, is this okay to do? Because they don't have the proper guidance, obviously. If they're out there, if their parents think it's okay for them to go out there and fuck every 5 seconds, pardon my language. But, you know, and as far as censoring myself, I really don't need to, but I'm going to because I'm targeting an all kind of audience, and I need to stop cussing. So that's kind of my thing. Anyway, back to the real matter at hand. It just needs to stop. People need to stop pulling the wool over other people's eyes. They need to stop trying to fool other women and men into thinking that it's okay to do that. And so that's my thinking of it. That's my critical thinking. And if somebody wants to go ahead and do it, that's fine. But, you know, if it doesn't work out and something happens to your child, you know who's going to be held accountable? The person who decided to do it in the first place, not the person who made that Pinterest post. So that's my opinion. And this concludes today's segment. More videos to come. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. And I'm sorry for this long drawn out rant. And that's my opinion. So have a great year, stick to your resolution, and have fun while doing so. So, bye.